Welcome back to the Irresistible You podcast. This is episode 152. And today we are talking about how to stop beating yourself up and how to start asking yourself what you need instead. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So I want to share something with you that happened to me this week. It's also another reason why the podcast is a few days late. Normally, I get these out earlier in the week. So let me tell you what happened, and I wanted to share this with you because I think it's just such an important message and something that all of us need to remember. So it was on, I want to say Monday or Tuesday. My daughter woke up for school and she was unbelievably congested. Thank you, spring on the way. We love spring. We love that spring is on the way. We do not love the pollen. So she had just really bad allergies this week. And so I was like, you know what? Go back to sleep, stay home. And because I didn't have to wake up and get her off to school, I was like, you know what? My body is so tired right now. I'm going to just lay back down and go to sleep. And so I am not kidding you. Our entire family, including Javi, including Chewy, we slept in till I don't know, it must have been almost 10:30 in the morning, and that is completely unheard of, especially on a school and work day. It just doesn't happen here. And in my mind, I was like, I do have things to do today. I have to get the podcast done. I have some client work that has to get finished. I am just not in the mental space to do that right now. I'm going to just enjoy this time with my family and sleep in because obviously I need to sleep. And what I found is that instead of beating myself up and being like, you are so lazy, you can't have a day off, who do you think you are? It was like, you know what? Instead, why don't you ask your body, why are you so tired in the first place? Because clearly something is craving rest, something is craving a break, and I let myself have it. And that afternoon, we were eating dinner, and I told Frank, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, this is the least stressed out and anxious and pressed that I have felt in a really long time. And the funny thing about it is, we really didn't do anything exciting today. So, we woke up and we made breakfast. And after breakfast, I don't know where this came from, but we decided to go organize the garage. This has been one of those house projects that has just on the to-do list. It constantly gets put on the back burner. We're about to be in this house now 2 years. It still hasn't been done, the way that we want. And as we live here, it's getting worse, right? There's things that need to be donated. There's things that need to be trashed. There's things that need to be organized. And it's one of those projects that my husband owns this project, okay? And it's something that he never has time to get to. I don't have time to get to. And I just needed something so out of my everyday. Now, it is so boring to go out and organize a garage, but it's what we did. And, you know, we got out there, we started, putting piles of what is to go, trash, what are we donating, putting things away. And it was just this like mindless, easy thing to do. And we got in the car and we went to the landfill because there was a whole bunch of stuff we needed to recycle and throw away. So we did that. And then we came home. And I mean, it was not an exciting day, guys. I literally rolled out of bed. I didn't take a shower. I didn't do my hair. I didn't do my makeup. I threw on some, whatever clothes to, toss around the house. And my kids never got out of their pajamas all day. No worries. It's all good. And that's what we did. And it was such a like easy, stressless day. And it was so welcoming. And it's something that I needed because we have just been under a ton of stress. I haven't shared a ton because it's been hard for me to really talk about. But Chewy, which is my Chihuahua, he's 12 years old. We've had him since he was 6 weeks old. He was our first child. He is a part of the family. He's a family member. He's everything to us. And about a month ago, during a cardiac. He goes to see a cardiologist because he has a heart murmur, and during one of those appointments, they also found a mass on his abdomen, which turns out it's a mass on his spleen, and that is a very scary thing. It's a very the outlook on it is not great. And we've had to make some really tough decisions about what we're going to do, if we're going to surgically remove it, because the only way for us to know whether or not this is cancerous 100% is you have to take it out. There's no way to biopsy it inside the body like that. So this has been an agonizing decision because there's so much risk. If we leave it in him, it can rupture at any moment. If we remove it and put him under surgery, you guys know with surgery there's risk, and the older a dog is and his heart issues. And so it's just been a really rough month trying to figure out what we're going to do while also, I guess, accepting that news. It's been really, really hard. And we did decide he is going to be going through surgery next week. So please say a prayer. We will take all the prayers we can get to make sure Chewy comes out and he's doing well. And then we can we can decide from there what happens based on, we can have a plan for him based on what they find. So anyway, all of that stress, it was just, and I've been going nonstop with work, even on the weekends. And I just needed that time to allow myself to recuperate a little bit, to sleep in, to just be, right? How often do we allow ourselves to just be? And in the busy world and lives that we live, it's not often. And what we tend to do is instead of leaning in and going, wow, I must really need to sleep, we beat ourselves up. We call ourselves all the names in the book and all these things, even though we know we're not lazy. We know we're not, we're out here killing it every single day, putting in the work, taking care of responsibilities, taking care of everybody, taking care of ourselves. We deserve a break sometimes. And a break doesn't always have to mean, well, I got to go to the nail shop and get my feet done and my nails done and my hair done and go to the massage, go get a massage. It doesn't always mean that. This is a form of self-care. Listening to your body is self-care. And so often as women, we do not listen to our bodies because we're so busy taking care of our business that the number one thing that we need to take care of that business, we ignore it. And that's ourself and our bodies. And so that's the lesson in all of this. And I think the same can be said, when you find yourself at the end of the day wanting to just eat all the cupcakes in the bathtub, go and stash all the M&Ms, go and eat all the things. I think this is a good lesson in asking yourself, why do I feel that I need to eat this right now? Instead of, see, I told you, you can't ever stick to anything. See, you do good all day long until the end of the day, you lose all your control. What's wrong with you? Instead of going into that judgmental inner fat bitch, what if instead, when it's the end of the day and you're just scanning the kitchen for food, or you're jumping on DoorDash to order cheesecake, not that I've ever done that, when you're doing that, what if instead you ask yourself, what is it right now that I feel that I need to eat my way through it? What is going on right now? And when you start asking yourself these types of questions, what it does is it changes the inner dialogue. It changes the conversation. It changes the thoughts that you're having. It silences the inner fat bitch so that your real inner voice can shine. And I just think this is something we need to get in a better habit of doing. I always, it's not lost on me that I have the privilege of being able to take a day off whenever I want, for the most part. I work for myself. I that hasn't come easily. So that is something I definitely have earned over the years, that I'm able to do that. And it's not lost on me that there are people that are not able to do that as easily. And I get it, because I've been there where I've worked a 9 to 5 and you only have so many days. And if, some people don't have paid time off and all of that. And it's always been so frustrating to me that companies, employers do not provide mental health days, or self care days. That needs to be built into time off. Because if we don't have those days, we're going to find ourselves crashing and burning. And I don't know what it was. It was just, this day was so easy. I didn't even feel, because a lot of times if I were to like have to take the day off to go do something because something came up or whatever, I would feel all kinds of guilt. I should be doing this. I should have been working on this. I should have been doing this. Now I'm going to have to make up for it tonight or in the morning or whatever. And I did not allow myself to have any type of guilt or shame about it, and I did not crack open. I did crack open my laptop, guys. I did not crack it open until after the kids went to bed, because there were some things I had to do that I absolutely needed to get done. But it didn't feel anxious. It didn't feel stressful. It didn't feel panicky or judgy or any of those things. So I'm just sharing this again because I think for everyone, the lesson here is to listen to your body. You don't need sleep because you're lazy. You need sleep because you need rest. You don't need to slow down because you're lazy or not motivated. You needed to slow down because your body is telling you if you don't slow down, you're going to crash and burn. And so I want you to start changing that inner conversation with yourself. Instead of beating yourself up, instead of judging yourself, ask yourself the question, what do I really need right now? What is it that I need right now? What is it that I need that I'm not getting, that I'm trying? And so I think with food, it comes down to like, what do I need right now that I'm not getting elsewhere that the food could give me, that I think the food is going to give me, right? Because the food, while it may feel like in that moment, it takes the pressure off, it gives you comfort, it gives you relief, it gives you this little moment of happiness, if you will. That moment is fleeting, because as soon as you do it, what happens? The guilt, the shame, the inner fat bitch beat up comes, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, if you change that question to have more empathy, to have more understanding for yourself, right? And when you're tired, it's that same question of like, what am I not getting right now that's making me so tired? What am I not getting in my schedule or in my life that makes me like crave having a break? What is it that I need to do for myself? Because no one's going to be able to do these things for you. You're going to have to do them for yourself. And so that's the task this week. I'm going to keep this episode short and sweet. I know normally I ramble for like 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to keep this short and sweet. Let me know how you're doing. You can check in inside the free Facebook group and ask yourself, what do I really need right now? What do I need right now? And how can I give it to myself? Okay? Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you. I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay irresistible. Bye, guys.